Good morning. It's about, 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm waking up so early this morning. I don't know why. I slept for about a few hours. And I've been struggling. I think I'm coming to realizations of as a human first. The challenge this human body is going to face. This human mind is going to face. This human understanding is going to face. I might be grateful for the gift that's been given to me, but that does not mean that the human body, the human mind, and the human perception will completely disappear within me. And that means that there will be a balance between me and the soul, of time and of each of them to respect their boundaries. And that's going to be up to me. Now I know that I'm going to dedicate the rest of my days for the good cause of humanity. And I know that I'm going to be talking to you on a most as much as possible. I am going to create a little boot where I can go whenever I wake up this time of the night. I can just press the button and just speak to you people, like I'm doing now. But instead, when time comes, it's going to be live and all connected, and we can just exchange our private thoughts as humans on that boat, on that boot. So everything that we say on that boot is all about our human life. And outside that boot, it will be the king, and we'll be living our lives fully conscious, which actually makes me think about. I was watching 50 Cent's interview with Ari Malberg Beat, and it makes me so much joy. It gives me so much joy and so much gratitude to see a human being in peace with his self, with his soul, with his achievements, with his music. And 50 Cent's, I don't know what's really been going on, but in his life, because I don't really follow any human in a specific way. I never worshipped a human as my leader, as my what should I call it? As inspiration. And I never understood that why I have now a single human being as an inspiration to me. And truly enough, now I know the answer why now. Because he knew exactly what he didn't want it to be affected. He didn't want to infect Fatmir with his attachments in life. That's why for the last 5 years my soul has been working with me constantly. I don't know what kind of a awakening I've received. It's not an awakening it's more that my personal awakening is to do something much more bigger than a one single thing. My knowledge is way up with you guys. It's your knowledge, because at the moment how I'm feeling is like I'm putting the dots every time I hear something, every time I read something, every time I observe something. It gives me something new, some different picture, and that is just like opening an entire new system in my head of how to approach life in the future. And that's what we're gonna do, and I know that for a fact, because and this is gonna be the most amazing thing, which really, as a human, is making me thinking like you will be thinking. The gravity of the understanding. Because now if we take this king and follow his pattern of his life, of his previous lives, then it will give us a time, a place, a space, everything that is written in our books, in our classical books, which people also select collections, unique collections around the world. Those are at work at the moment. Those are live, like the fairy tale books. I said it right, the fairy tale books are at work. Or at least we as humans understood them as a fairy tale. Sad, but true. Now the truth is hitting us in the face. And those fairy tales books gonna become live. They're gonna come alive because they're gonna, by finding this space with my soul, we're going to connect all the dots together on a tree of life. And as this new branch is building with us, same time we uncovering all true stories behind true existence, from the top to the bottom, from above and below. We will be collecting this information and we'll be making enormous progress. Enormous. Think about the best dream you have had in your life. How you wanted to have your life. That dream is going to be true because you didn't simply dream. You evoked a desire on the universe. Now those desires, those wishes from the past, the present, everything that has happened in the past in our lives, everything that we know about the history will be put in a place all the time, and even the hero we thought was a hero might become a villain on the stories. Might change character because the truth, the pattern of the truth will show these figures that we have considered heroes, maybe a savior of humanity or something much more than we thought. That will come to realization that truly, surely, he was the villain of all of this. And we have to accept that truth. We have to accept because we got the evidence in front of us. We cannot turn out. That's why for the last 5 years, we have not understood nothing's going on around us. The left became right, the right became left. Ideologies are flourishing from every corner of the world. Nationalism was flourishing everywhere. Because people are confused. People don't know what's going on. Why the people, my question, the same as yours, is what on earth takes a human being to understand that 1 equals 1 and makes 2? Sorry, 1 plus 1 makes 2. There's not hiding from the truth when you do 1 plus 1. But when you do 1 and 1 gives life to 2, and 2 gives life to 3, that is a different calculation of the time we're going to do. King Kalki is also the wheel of time, or the holder of the wheel of time. And now I know how that's going to happen. That's why on my pages, on my Instagram, I request, if you look at the pattern of my speech, or my writing, you see is predicting something bigger that will happen than this one. This is just a slap in the face at the moment to humanity. So, in a way, he wants to steal the time. He's got a plan, and the plan is prepare ourselves for the worst time ever that we can face. For the day that we need to stay away from everything, because the world might have a different outcome. Right? Let's say this is the main objective. Preparing the people for that day is giving yourself at least years of life. Because, and if you fell in a sponge which will bring you back straight back again. Right? Not like now that if we fail again, if that is, I mean, till the society gets to know that this is happening now, and the reason why I'm speaking is because I am going to speak every day from today. I'm going to add videos, long as 10 minutes every day to make understand what's going on. So hopefully you will be connecting more and more with my page across the online, YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, and Twitter now. I just opened a Twitter account also. We need to give you a perspective. So by planning the worst, he will bring you 10 years up on time. How does it work? It works in a sense that the planning of the worst means that you are prepared for everything that might comes to you. So that means that if we get, for example, 2 hits in a row or 3 hits in a row of misfortunes as a humanity, we are prepared for those 3 hits. Because we have actually read the books. And the fairy tale books that we call those fairy tale books, now those are the guide for us. Now might speak with codes, they might speak with a different language of the time. I'll give you an example of that. Fatmir, the human here, living with you at the moment, that his body is talking to you, he understood it as one world and one yoga, with a hashtag in front, because it represents the time in his living. But the books have written that, the heaven, the earth, which is exactly the same thing. Okay? The Buddhism and Hinduism and all that call it Yuta Yoga. And that is another way of understanding the truth, Our understanding so far from the day of our existence has been different. I mean, the gravity of this moment was going to be that everything that we have learned, everything that we have written, everything that we have believed from above and below, it will be changing, will be put online with the true history of the things. Because the pattern will tell us what was true and what wasn't true. What was made up because of the reason of ideologies of politics and beliefs was changed. That's going to go into the place. The people maybe that we thought they were not good to us, they will go to they will take their place in the histories of the book of histories. Cosmology will change a lot. Everything they understood about the cosmology will change. The timing we calculate will change. We're not going to calculate the time or the rotation of a planet. Because that's not the time we live in. We live at a different time. We live at the time of the moment we exist. The moment you will discover your soul, that's the moment you start existing, truly. So that's when the time of your understanding will start then. So that's why the timing in the books of scriptures are confusing, because they started it when the idea was born or when the thought was born, and that we don't know when. So it moves by years and probably by 1,000. But if you calculate the timing with the born of the idea of the soul of who first had the idea, then the time of the invention will change, ends and paths. Some, for example, I hear a lot of people, a lot of programs, how the scientists and the inventors still work from each other and put their names on it. Now that will be given to the rightness, truth to the person who belongs to, not to the knowing the lie and still holding the reward. That's not going to be able anymore, because the timeline will tell us that this is not right, this is true. So we're going to unlock the entire books of evolution of our scriptures, because we've got a timeline in every single thing, in every corner of the tree of life. As we grow up in one way, we, as human, also connect the tree of life and rearrange it, the existence. I am not going to be able to tell you who was first, the chicken or the egg. That's not up to me. That's up to God, if He wants to manifest that to you. But we should not start on that time, on that point. We shouldn't think, oh, who is this, who is that. We should think what we know. We should understand what we know. And that's going to be our biggest gift, and that to understand our own knowledge, our own experience over the thousands of years, or whatever the fairy tale books will connect with each other. Those fairy tales books we call fairy tales, they will connect with each other. Then we find exactly where we came from, what happened with us, where that it was, because we have uncovered the big. We're going to have discovered the biggest. Basically, we have discovered the biggest thing ever to humanity. The true cell of existence, when he existed on a chapter, and he's walking earth now. That's what was all about. And I'm going to steal the 5 years we've lost already by preparing ourselves for 20 years, or 30 or 40, 50 years to come. I mean, I know the plan is 100 years, and it's a 10 years plan for each stage. 10 years time means that we will be calculating that, because in a human invention, we cannot change the dates, the calculation of time of the past, present or future. We still will be complicated for us to understand this. There'll be only few of us who are going to read these stories that we born from their thoughts, which basically is the starting point of everything. So you don't start when we have start to build, put the stone, but start before the stone was created. That's where we are missing out of the time. I mean, my head is going around and about all of this. The awakening is quite true, real, but not the awakening you think it is, though. Not the way that I even expected also, or what I was hoping to achieve. And yeah, there we are. 6 o'clock in the morning, talking to the camera. Well, I hope I am going to record all this, because, and this is about we are at this moment, set up. I'm not an economist. I'm not a politician. I'm not a religious. I'm not a believer. I am nothing of any kind of a person that you would be seen as a person in life that he holds the power. It was the reason why my soul chose to start this life on the bottom of the world, when it chose my mother. When I chose my mother. There's a reason why that happened. When I chose my mother as a carrier of my creation. Because that woman not only had the 3 kids already. 2 or 3 kids already. And she took another kid on top of it. You know? So the life of the king could not start worse than that. And the first 6 months of his life were Fatimir were put in orphanage. The first 6 months of his life. So he wanted to start exactly at the point where you can experience everything, ideologically, politically, and religious and beliefs. It's not an accidental that Albania, for example, is one of the countries, only countries in the world where the religions live together as one. I don't think any of us see when they're married, are you Muslim or Christian or Catholic? I don't think that exists. I don't know. I've been for too long away from my own country, but at the time it did not exist, and we didn't know it. So, and there was no religions either at the time. What other? Struggle for food. I mean, it was real. I remember where I grew up. You know, when after I was taken away from my orphanage and brought home. Well, that's for another day to talk about. Now just to say good morning and have a lovely day. Thank you.